So the way I've grown this business for all the entrepreneurs out there is the other side looking in my eyes, feeling the sincerity, knowing that I'm passionate, understanding my transparency.
Yep.
And saying, hey, you know what? Let's go.
And it's real.
Yeah, and that will never go away.
And it's not fake. It's fucking real.
It's fucking real.
I shot a pod in New York. I flew up to New York. I met Max Cho. I invested in his company called Coverage Cat, right?
Yeah.
Max Cho, at the end of the pod, he told me before, he goes, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm like, all right, just let it fly. He said this, he kind of gave this story about him meeting President Obama. And he said that the room, it felt like, he said, I felt like he waited his whole day to meet me.
No shit.
And I said, he goes, that's how slick he was. And I said, Max, maybe he really isn't just fucking with you. Maybe he likes meeting people.
Yeah.
And maybe it was because I said, Max, if you didn't believe it, it wouldn't work.
Right.
And you're a super smart guy.
Yeah.
So he was kind of saying the best bankers screw you and make you smile and say thank you. And I'm like, I don't buy that. That's not my model for the world. I think you either are real or you're full of shit. Yeah. And I know the difference in moments, in minutes. And the way that we got down to it in math terms was how many games are left. Mostly when you're doing a deal, there's 100 games left, 100 deals left.
Right.
You don't fuck someone over.
Right.
Right? You fuck someone over once, you're ostracized.
It's over.
Deal. The game's over.
Game's over.
And we just sort of got into it. And he was saying, well, okay, Nick, fine. But let's pretend you have a unicorn company and this is your moment, your exit. He goes, it becomes one game. And that's when the teeth come out. Okay. In that moment, the math starts to change. And I said 99.9% of people will never find themselves in an end game.
Right.
You see the nice person, the nice barista at the coffee shop, you're going to see him again tomorrow. And if you're a dick, they're going to not treat you very kindly tomorrow.
This is one of the smartest conversations that you can have with
your pants on.
With your
Sorry.
No, business owners, entrepreneurs need to hear this. And I'm glad you brought it up. 99% of deals that are made, the agency or the other side doesn't fucking ask what the game is. And this is where the relationships fail. You said, hey, when agency owners want to pull their hair out, and it's like the worst kind of business to be in, and it's all true. When you don't know what the fuck you're asking and how you're running the thing, it can be treacherous. Setting those expectations is that game. Reveal the game. I ask every single client of mine, is this an EBITDA game or a revenue game? Tell me which one it is.
No, I want to know what we're playing here.
What are we playing? If we're playing an EBITDA game, I'm going to design this thing
to do that.
Functionally different. Then we have, incrementality that we'll worry about. Then we'll worry about lifetime customer value. We're going to worry about all kinds of different nuances that are tied to EBITDA, ROAS.
Yeah.
We'll give a shit about all of that because we're building a business to be profitable.
Oh, man.
And then you got the VC and private equity backed and, fuck you money companies.
It's a different conversation.
Those guys are like, revenue first. Habib, give me 1.5 ROAS.
No matter what happens.
Produce fucking cash. Yeah. I'm going to throw cash. You make me more cash. Right. Just a little bit more.
A tiny bit. Just
smidgen.
So Sequoia doesn't burn my ass.
Right. Keep doing that shit. And honestly, there is no better honesty than that because you now know what to do. 90% of people don't ask that question. What the fuck? What are we playing here?
Imagine if you did this with a significant other. What game are we playing here?
Oh, I do that all the time.
Holy shit.
I
did this the other day for the first time in my entire life.
Oh, yeah?
I was just like, wait. What game are we playing here? What are we doing here? Are we doing this? Or are we doing that? Because if we're doing that, I'm out.
Yeah.
If we're doing this, I'm good.
It's the same thing, man, across the board. Relationship, friendship, the game has to be answered, right? And look, we're human beings. We got to manage the emotion while we're asking for what the game is, right? On the relationship side.
Sure.
Right? Because I have a good friend of mine here, Nick Sanchez. He would say to me, Habib, relationships should be two things, funny or money, right? And that means funny, somebody that enhances your life.
Sure.
Makes you laugh, gives value to you by spending time with them.
Okay.
Or they should be money.
There should be some outsized transactional nature to
Well, not even transaction. There should be an uplifting value when it comes to dollars and cents. Like you're having fun and you're doing something special. And 90% of my clients end up being my friends because those founders and CEOs, tight circle, and they're spending a lot of time with a certain amount of people.
Right.
And those guys, if they're spending time with me on a phone call, that's valuable fucking time.
Yeah.
And they give
for you to just be there hanging out, and you're like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's valuable for both of us.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to hire somebody they don't want to hang out with.
Right.
And that's another message that these company owners and EQ guys, you need to understand.
Yeah.
If I have limited time in my day and I need to have a fucking phone call with you and I don't like you, but you provide me great results, I'll find someone else that will provide me a little less results than you.
Right.
But I like talking to that guy.
Yeah.
Like the art of business is in that EQ, right? And the asking of the question of, hey, what is your goal?
Yeah.
Right? It's simple.
It's simple, but nobody asks it in the way that you asked it, where I can come up with an answer pretty quick. Right. Because what you do is when you go through these onboarding processes and you roll your eyes, you go, oh, great, a fucking form that no one's going to look at.
Right.
And what you're saying is, no, we're going to basically do this one question is basically going to determine the next 150 steps that
the
we do.
roadmap.
Yeah.
The roadmap.
And it's completely legit because, by the way, if you wake up your client wakes up in a bad mood on a Tuesday, which may or may not happen if you own an agency.
Yeah.
And
that happens all the time.
It happens every fucking day, assholes. So, and they say, hey, you didn't take care of this. You're like, that's not the game we're playing.
Right. It's a good reminder, though.
Yeah. They were just like, yeah, it's fine.
Look, at the end of the day, it's an easy playbook to win kind of in any business, especially the agency business, right? And if you're an agency owner, just understand, be empathetic first, number one, give a shit, number two, and don't fuck up, number three.
Right.
It's a really easy formula.